Vintage boats, carnival floats and a whole fleet of racing vessels are among the casualties of a large fire on an Isle of Wight industrial estate. The island town ground to a halt yesterday as fire tore through workshops at Medina Village in Cowes. Today, after the flames were finally dampened down, local business owners were able to take stock of what they'd lost. We can cross straight over to our reporter Victoria Cook, who's in Cowes for us tonight. So what do we know about the extent of the damage, Victoria?
Well, the damage here is definitely going to run into the millions of pounds, but as yet the true extent isn't really known because no one's been able to get fully on site here and assess the damage. It's been a really tough day for business owners here, many of them coming down here talking to us and saying they just find it really hard to accept what's happened here. Well, looking at the building behind us, you can probably see why they can't return to work. I don't know if you can just see in the background here, sheets of corrugated iron hanging precariously here behind us. It means that they can't return to work. The fire service have now left. They've handed this site over to the landowners and they've got the whole site on lockdown. The devastation of this fire is clear to see. Boats, equipment and buildings all destroyed. Somewhere amongst this rubble is the remains of 30 racing yachts, some destined to compete in the World Championships here in September.
Some of them have been sent from Australia and Hong Kong and America, and they've all gone. There's a beautiful old steam launch in there, that's all gone. There was a boat in there from the D-Day landings. Everything's gone, even the trailers are gone. It's melted the metal trailers. It's unbelievable.
These pictures from 2008 show the restoration of a 100-year-old boat. She survived Dunkirk, she saved hundreds of lives, but she hasn't survived this fire.
We spent about £80,000 altogether. The idea was to get her up fully conversant and then, fully converted and then running again as she was in 1940. She was unique, she had a fascinating history, and unfortunately she's gone for good.
Some business owners were allowed on site briefly today to collect computers. The fire service say it's still too dangerous for anyone to return to work.
It's a steel structure which doesn't behave well in heat, starts to buckle, so that puts stress on the building. So we've got some partial collapse of the building and also we've got a lot of the contents that's been destroyed by the fire. With that we've got a lot of radiated heat damage to some of the surrounding risks as well. So yeah, it's just really now a matter of everybody collating exactly, what's been damaged, what we can move out safely, and what can be saved and salvaged.
In the next few days, business owners should be allowed back inside the industrial estate. Only then will they be able to assess what they've lost. Well, joining me here live is local councillor Laura PC Wilcox. Thanks for joining us. We mentioned about these corrugated iron panels behind us. They look dangerous. What's going to be done about them?
The building inspector was here first thing this morning along with the fire service. We're trying to establish actually, what we can do in order to remove this safely. We've got a local company that are due to come in tomorrow to assess the damage and actually to remove them and get them down.
I know you've been in meetings all day. What are the issues you've been discussing?
Our main issue is the safety on site first and foremost of everybody, and trying to assist as many businesses as possible to go back in and retrieve what they can. The second thing is to get the power back restored to the other part of the site. That had to be cut off yesterday in an emergency. And the third thing is relocating those businesses. We have to keep these businesses going.
And I understand there's some temporary sites being looked at already for that.
Yeah, people have been very helpful on the site. Other areas that haven't been affected have been offering their space to the units. So yeah, and the Isle of Wight Council have a couple of businesses units further up that they're willing and happy for people to use. So yeah.
Laura, thank you very much for joining us. Well, the advice for business owners is keep in touch with the landlords and they'll let you know when you can get back on site. Back to you.
Victoria Cook in Cowes, thank you very much.